everyone, Dyanne here from decoeasy. Thank you very much for stopping by the channel of me and my mother-in-law Jenny today. We hope to entertain you with a new video about decorating and yeah, let's go. Today we're going to work again with Jenga blocks. For the ones who are new to our channel, I'll explain. Jenny and I buy these blocks from the Action, and each package contains 60 blocks and they cost €3 each. And those blocks are pretty big. Look. And yeah, they're very great to work with. So we buy a lot of these stuff. We're going to make something for the Christmas season today. Are you ready? Let's go. Here we start crafting. First, we start with applying the crafting mat to the table. You will also need wood glue. I don't know what we paid for this anymore, but it also comes from the Action. And of course, you need those blocks. Now, what we're trying to do today is make some sort of Christmas ornaments, but then made out of wood. And they're pretty easy to make. The only disadvantage is that, yeah, it might take some drying time, depending on the glue and the temperature you're working with. Now, this is one disadvantage to these Jenga blocks. There's always one of this block with letters upon it inside of the box. If you're using it, don't make this side visible on your DIY, because if you're going to paint over it with any type of paint, doesn't matter how many layers, you still see this ink. And that's not what we want. Okay, now, you also need two round objects. For example, a plate or anything else that is round and hard, because we're going to use it as some kind of mold, and we also will be using it to determine how many blocks we need for each ornament. Here I have two plates, a big and a small one. I'm going to take these aside and start laying out blocks that will be just the size of the plate. To determine how many blocks you need, I suggest leaving space in between the blocks. So you gotta lay these on the same height. I think we now have enough blocks for the small plate to lay it on. Carefully lay that down. And I think this is okay. Now I'm going to grab a pencil, draw a line around, and then know how where we need to saw these blocks. I have a marker here. Press upon the blocks while drawing line. Oh gosh, while drawing lines. That was what I wanted to say. But don't press too hard on the pencil. Never mind. I'm going to fix that later. I think I just pressed too hard and the whole thing started moving away. The last line here. Okay, I think we're there now. Carefully remove it. Just going to outline everything again. To see if we have some sort of shape here. Not completely. Just going to try it again here. This one failed a little bit. I think this is just because of my crafting mat, which isn't completely standing straight. Yeah, I think that's the whole problem. Never mind. I'm going to draw it by hand then. I think everywhere else they are okay. Now we're not going to saw, but we're first going to put the things together with the wood glue. Therefore, I like to glue as following. You just, oh, oops, that was the cap. Just put all the blocks on that you don't want to glue. Ah, this is also a problem. I think there came some glue somehow underneath, and it wasn't laying down straight. I think that caused a problem for the block. Well, you only leave the last one in the row laying down, and now you're going to put glue. Don't need super much. I think I used way too much glue in the DIYs before. I'm going to glue them together. And I'm going to rub also the glue parts together, so you divide the glue more evenly upon the wood, just like this. Oh yeah, I was afraid for that. Just like this, gently rub and spread out the glue to all corners. And then you leave that to dry for a couple of minutes. And after doing that, you can just put the old things together. That works fine for me, but it might differ from your kind of glue and the stuff that you're using, of course. Oops. So this one here, also that corner, and then the last ones too. Okay, well, that's that. Leave it, and then you're going to apply everything together. And applying everything together isn't that hard. Just push them together like that. Yeah, sure. And the good thing about spreading out that glue is that you don't have that many drippers upon your project right now. I think I'm going to do it this way. Just put it upon there, and there's nothing in the way. Here, this one, and then we have the last one up here. Okay, now you leave this to dry. I think half an hour is enough. Also, depending on the humidity and the temperature in your room, you can just lay them close if you prefer that. This thing, I think it needs some extra glue. Somehow it sucked up so many glue. Just a little bit extra then. Yeah, that's better. Okay, if there is any excess glue, just wipe it off. Leave that to dry. I'm going to make a bigger one here, just the same way as I did with these, but then with a bigger plate. Better solution for avoiding the problem that I just had. First, glue. Why didn't I think of it before? This should be enough to cover up the big plate. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just put them up, apply glue, and then stuck everything together. And then let that dry for half an hour. Easy as that. And then afterwards we're going to put the plate upon it and use the marker to draw the circle. This one is done too. Now it's time to grab your saw. You can use a figure saw or a power saw to start sawing around the edges for the small and the big one. Okay, I decided that I wanted to pin first and then I'll be sawing. I'm going to flip these over because this is the bad side. You also see a lot of glue here. I'm going to flip these over and I'm going to start painting this. And yeah, I think I'll be using stain, wood stain, but you can also just use paint, whatever you like. That is up to you. So this is the good side. That's where I didn't draw anything, and that's where I glued the neatest way. I will show you what I'll be using. This here, beeswax, that's what Janny and I use a lot on our DIYs. That's what I also prefer for this DIY. I keep the same brushes that I use for beeswaxing in a bag. And yeah, they get hard, but that's why I use the lid. Just stomp a little bit up and down, and then the hard things break apart, the hard beeswax, and then you're good to go again. There's a little clump. Yeah, that must be it. Okay. I also like to work with the lid and make sure that you ventilate your room while doing this. I'll show you how I work. First, I dab my brush into the wax. Then I dab my brush upon the lid to get rid of the most wax. And then I'll first start by painting or staining the sides. Sometimes you have to dab upon those sides. Don't worry that there are clumps. We'll get rid of them soon. And just rub in that beeswax. Now clean everything up. We're just wiping it to one side. And then you're laying this down. You're good to go with the top section. You can also just rub back and forth or make small rounds like I do. And I use the lid so I don't get my fingers too dirty, because the lid doesn't absorb this. That's how we're going to continue. I'll speed it up I think now, and then it's quicker for you to see this done. We're back here with all the sewed pieces, and I'm going to take a good look because some of them, yeah, here, like this one, was damaged while sewing. You can see it here. So I'm carefully going to fix that with the file. And if necessary, I will also add some new beeswax on those edges. I thought it would last, but somehow it didn't. No big deal, but still got to do some repair things. So just grab my file and make everything smooth again, and then we're going to put it together to make it 2 Christmas ornaments. Both circles are complete, and I put them upside down. Now grab some of those blocks again. Let me open up the package and grab a few. Let's see how many we need, because I don't know that. What shall we use? I think 2 for each will be cool. Yeah, this won't fit. We'll see if we have something else for that. Maybe some scrap wood will do. I'm going to put these blocks here in the back of the DIYs. Make sure that you won't see lines on the front, you know what I mean? So by gluing them this way, will look like one big piece. Oh, we'll need something for this too. Just like this. I'm going to find some scraps. Maybe that I have some from the sewing that I just did, which I can reuse. And that will be superb to put them in between here. Found some scraps, 2 there. Next step is to add glue, but then not on these ones here, but upon the horizontal ones. Okay. Now, just add glue. Like this. And try to keep it in a straight line when you place those blocks. Oops. There. And these parts too. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same with these. I think for the big one is a good idea to keep the upper and the lower one attached, so I know where I need to glue. Because on the big one I find it a little bit harder to go straight down or up than having it on the smallest one. And I think I know where to glue right now. There, oops, little dripping thing. Here too, a little bit there, and let us not forget these. Well, now I'm going to leave this to dry for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to apply all the sticks, and I try to do that in a straight line. Then I let it dry, and I think then you'll be back for the next step. I don't want to stain these first because I'm afraid that the greasiness of the beeswax will ruin the adhesiveness of the glue. So first I tried to do it on bare blank wood, and when it's on I can still go with a pencil here in between because I still got to do these soft edges too. I just beeswax the edges. I have no idea why, because I should. Was about to go to trim that. However, cleverness is not my middle name, so I'm going to do it over again. Small advice if you're doing the same thing, don't do these sides. Wait until you sort it. Anyway, wait, and then I'll be back. Hey, we're back. I glued everything together and beeswaxed the parts here in the back side. And I think we have really cute Christmas ornaments here, but they are just circles right now, and we need to let them look like Christmas ornaments. So I'm going to make the hooks on top, and therefore I just glued these blocks together. This one will go here, and this one will go here. And up here we're going to make a rope so you can hang them up, but first they need a color, and I wish I had silver paint. Maybe I have. I'm going to take a look. Otherwise, I'll be using this. Just chalkboard paint instead of the silver paint. The only silver stuff that I have is this spray paint. I can't spray outside now because it's raining so many, actually a lot. So I'm going to try putting it in a cup. And I suggest wear old clothes if you do that. And after you sprayed it, you can use a pencil to apply it to the wood. So I'm going to spray it in, and hopefully that will go okay. And then we can start painting. I use a double cup. Maybe it starts leaking and then you have your paint all over the place, because this stuff, yeah, you can't get it off. It's a synthetic paint and not water-based, so you'll need acetone or something. But if I'm going to apply that upon the table, we'll ruin the table, so we don't do that. Or use extra protection, for example, tablecloth that is, moist proof, that the moist won't leak through it. Paint here, grab your brush, watch out, it might start leaking. And then we start applying it on the sides. Look, this is just like a real Christmas ornament. And I think it will look super cool. And if necessary, you can always add some extra paint. But I don't think you will need that much, or at least not from this paint, because it has a good coverage. But watch out for your clothes and for your furniture and everything. Of course, you can get it off your skin. I suggest using acetone or another, friendly material that will get rid of this stuff. Or soap. Maybe a lot of soap will do too. I'll let this dry well. By doing this, first the edges, and then you can lay it down. Be careful, like that. Now I'm going to apply the rest of the paint. Oh, always try to wipe towards the outer lines to avoid any drippers. Here in the center it is okay to do so, but try to wipe out, because if you do this, then you get drippers here on the sideline, and you don't want that, I think. Okay, almost there. Wipe away any excess paint. There we go. Looks like a high-end paint job, but it's just ordinary spray paint in a can that you applied with a brush. I'm going to do the small one as well, and then I'm going to let it dry. When it's dry, we can start applying it to the bigger ones. Okay, paint is dry, good to go. Yeah, this is all paint, not ice and black here. That was all paint, not the silver. I'm going to grab my wood glue, and then I will apply them just like this here. I think I'm also going to glue them here on these edges for more secure and safetiness. And I will do the same here. Try to outline the center of the blocks with this row here. However, some are not completely into the center. Yep, I know it was hard to glue apparently for me today. Yeah, with this one that isn't playing. I think I'm going to do it like that. Okay, both the silver parts are on. Now it's time to start finishing it off, and therefore I have these two cute tiny clothespins, and I'm going to apply them upon the yeah, where shall we put it, here or something. And yeah, so you can hang up a card in there, maybe more to the center is better, but I don't like this color, so I'm trying to make them silver as well, if that works. If not, then I'm going to give them another color. Maybe a marker will help. If you have a marker for a certain color that you fancy, you can try to do it like that. I think it helps when you take this thing apart. So take out of the metal. You can easily slide that back on later. And I think it will also help if you have a third clothespin at hand. So you can just pinch it like that while you're painting it. Maybe that's a tip for you. Maybe you think I have another idea. Completely fine, but I'm just giving something that I think could be useful for you. Yeah, I painted them, but they're still drying over here, so I'm moving them a little bit over there because I have two cute cards that I can use for this DIY. Here, a small one and a big one. I made them myself. If you are a pro member of our channel, then you can download these, and I just made this with Photoshop. I'm going to cut it out, and that's why I used a black edge, so I know how to cut straight. You can also use a knife if you prefer that, and after you cut it, my suggestion is grab yourself a marker and go along this edge, you know, here on the edge here of the paper, because then it looks more high-end. You won't see a cutting line, a white cutting line on the black printed paper from the, yeah, of course, the bleached paper. So I suggest doing that, but that's just optional, but I think it will make it look more high-end. I'm just going to cut this with the scissors, and when I'm done, I'll be back, and I'll also assemble them back again into, yeah, this was my holding clothespin, into two normal clothespins again. Okay. Cards are ready. Clothespins are assembled together, but yeah, I touched them a little bit too early, so I repainted some parts and they still need to dry. But we can start with making, you know, something where you can hang this upon a hook. And therefore we have rope here, and I need some scissors that I'm going to grab, and I suggest using the glue gun. I have my scissors, and the glue gun is, as you can see, heating up. I'm going to put it back there. You grab some rope. Better take more than less. Well, let's take this. That must be enough. Let me see, is it a good idea to make it a double one? So we're going to make, does that look cool, or is that really weird? I don't think it looks festive, to be honest. Instead of one rope, let's give it a try. You can make a single one or a double one loop, Or is that too busy? No, I think it's festive. Let's first determine how large you want the loop to be. I think this looks nice. Now, make a double knot here on the side where I just pinched it. Come on, now put everything through. A little bit more up, please. Oh, this one didn't go through. Come on, you. In there, please. Thank you. And I think if you pull really tight, you're there. That's it. Now, grab your scissors. Cut off this. Maybe a little bit more here to make sure that it won't tear apart. Like so. And now you can turn the other side over. Glue this like that behind. There you have it. You can also hang this outside if you like. Totally up to you. Well, we're good to go. I put the over there. I put the papers inside of the clothespins, and just that way that it doesn't cover the print. And I'm going to glue afterwards. I'll think about here and here. Now grab the glue gun. Apply some glue here on the back of that clothespin. I think I'm going to push it gently over there. And I think that one will do. And this one the same way. Glue all over the length of this thing. And then drop it on a place where you think it looks cool. Just a few seconds. But I think they're gone. They're gone. They're dry already. And you can change, of course, the prints that you're using depending on what you like. And you can even hang them up here on the loops. That is it. And here is the final result of today's DIY. You can make this just the way you like it, using the colors, the prints, whatever you want to use on the cards, Christmas cards, wishes, photos, whatever you like you can put on here. We had fun creating, and we hope you had fun watching. Let us know in the comment section what you think. That was it for today. We hope you had fun watching, and we hope to see you back again next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.